What is it, 5:33, 5:32?
Recording in progress.
We have no changes, right? We're not adding anything. Okay.
Wait, doesn't he have to do this?
No.
No,
Oh, okay.
No. Any public comment? Public comment online? Okay. Okay, so we are here to do a validation of our municipal meetings. So. Yeah,
that we don't all have it, okay? We'll just give us the background. We recently discovered a procedural error in the election of town officials during the duly worn 2023 and 2024 town meetings. All town officials during the 23 and 24 town meetings should have been elected from the floor only and not by Australian ballot. Australian ballot was mistakenly used to elect town officials during the majority, including the majority of the select board pursuant to 17 VSA section 2662, which says errors or omissions in the conduct of an original meeting that are not the result of an unlawful notice or warning or non-compliance within the scope of the warning. Well, it sure sounds complicated.
I know.
May be cured by a resolution of the legislative body of the municipality, that's us, by a vote of 2/3 of all the members at a regular meeting or special meeting called for that purpose, stating that the defect was the result of oversight, inadvertence, or mistake. Therefore, I make a motion pursuant to 17 VSA section 2662 to resolve and ratify the election of all town officials by Australian ballot at the 2023 and 2024 town meetings. Furthermore, I motion to ratify all the boards and committees that were created by appointments of this select board and the actions of said boards and committees.
I second it.
Okay, all those in favor, signify by saying, or do we have any discussion, I should say first?
I think it's important to, for documentation purpose to understand that this has been something that's like all the way back to like 1994, right? Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, there was a error in 1994. They decided to vote some people from the floor and some by Australian ballot, but by statute it has to be one or the other.
Yeah.
So actually, since 1994, everybody, and it's by default because it was before that it was by it was from the floor.
From the floor.
And you can't change it to non-compliant, so it just reverted back to what it was. So in that case, everybody should have been voted in but from the floor and not by.
Just for the errors, omissions, and just for camera purposes and for meeting open transparency purposes, I just wanted to mention, obviously
Right.
we learned that this week and
And that we are undoubtedly not the only town in the state of Vermont that has gone, whoa, what do you mean?
So we have, making, yes,
Yeah, we got
that
a
includes the
motion.
listers.
That's everybody,
Perfect.
and
Anybody
everybody
that-
that we appointed as well.
Perfect, okay.
So that now everybody, when we vote, if 2/3 of us vote for it, everybody is legal.
Okay. And so you want to second that? No, Matt, you
Matt did.
seconded. Okay, so all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. Okay, perfect.
All right.
Let's read that last paragraph.
Oh.
Oh.
I didn't do that. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. By a vote of 5-4 and 0 against, motion is carried in the election of all town officials by Australian ballot at the 2023 and 2024 town meetings is resolved and ratified, and all the boards and committees that were created by appointments of this select board and the actions of said boards and committees is hereby resolved and ratified. It's everything.
2025, we can't stay in this process now, correct? Are we voted from the floor in 2025?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For everybody?
His terms are up, I think.
My term's up, so
Yeah.
2025 will be from the floor.
No. I don't think that's what we
No, I
decided.
think, no,
Yeah, because he was,
no, stop. We decided that what we're gonna do is proceed just as we always have done, instead of confusing people about doing it. But on the warning will be,
Right.
and the education that we either have to do, in the future, we've got to do everything from the floor or everything by ballot. And that we recommend we do everything by ballot, which is what we did during COVID, and people were fine with it. So people are used to it. And it's the same thing as if you want to vote, you don't, you can ask for an absentee ballot. And we still do town meeting, but it will be an educational thing
Yeah.
where we can go through everything and people can then vote after town meeting if they want that.
So to further clarify, do elected officials this year need to do petitions?
Yes,
They do,
Yeah.
if it was Australian ballot.
Regardless.
no,
You have to petition regardless.
they're doing just like we've always done it.
Correct.
So that those are, that are usually elected, which would be the select board,
Lister, no, yeah, listers.
school board members.
Yep,
Anybody else have to do?
the solid waste person.
Yeah, that's right, the odd one, the solid.
The odd one,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Or that one, we did
The
that one.
library trustees will be,
There,
After
that's
that.
getting voted on. That's what
Right.
brought this up, because they requested to be on the ballot.
yeah, I'm just wondering how they're gonna be voted on, like, it's.
They'll be voted from the.
They'll have to be
Floor this
voted
year.
from the floor until it's
This year.
approved
So
To go to
still-
the
It's
town.
at the town meeting.
Okay,
Yeah,
So this
We're
town
trying to figure
meeting
that
will
out
be
still,
just
but-
like.
right,
we've
that's,
always done.
we're working on all the articles and all of that.
Obviously for Kim's sake, she's the one to put it together, so. I just-
So I'm here. I have a question. If you split the vote with partial Australian ballot and partial floor, aren't you creating the same problem that we've had since 1994?
I thought. Well, we'll talk about that when we figure out the articles, we discussed that a little bit the
We
other
did,
day.
Yeah,
right.
and Susan, you're gonna get variant, you're gonna get approval from the legislature essentially. right?
Well, I think, well, I think that's
No.
something that if we wanted to keep it split, that's what you need to get as a variance. But I think if we decide we're just going all ballot,
Right, because that's what we want to do. is Go all
right,
ballot. I thought we decided to go all ballot.
in the future, but not for this one. Kim's talking about this election.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm talking, yes, this,
You are correct, Kim. We're gonna keep doing what we've been doing.
what we've been doing actually is some from the floor and some by Australian ballots. I think that's your confusion.
Right, and I'm not so sure we can, right?
No, you can't.
So I think I have to come from the floor this year. Or select board has to come from the floor.
Everybody's gonna come down.
Everybody has to.
There'll be no
Yeah.
ballot. And we're voting on to go ballot for next year. That solves the problem.
as long as the voters approve it, yes.
Right,
That's what I'm saying, we're voting, yes.
right.
Right, if it doesn't, then everybody will be from the floor going forward.
so that's my exact question and clarification what I was looking for. So with that, everyone's being voted from the floor, do people still need to petition?
No, because there aren't any petitions. There's no ballot. So
Okay,
you
So
don't
we
have to
won't
petition.
need petitions.
You just need somebody to nominate you from the floor.
Oh, right, okay.
Good thing you'll be there.
Yeah, I know. I know.
What about the stage? Does that count?
Yep.
The floor?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's definitely from the floor, right?
Does that make sense, Kim?
Yes,
You-
thank
that's-
you.
Okay. Any more on that?
Okay.
Okay. Budget, is Jen on? Thank you, Jen, this was
Yeah.
beautiful. I don't know, did everyone have time to kind of peek at it? Start some conversation on it? Any specifics that you guys wanna call out? Everybody's dying.
What did the highlighted mean? Some of the highlighted was highlighted and there wasn't a change, Jen, so was that like a mental note for her, or was there something?
It's more like mental notes that it needs to be revisited or there are questions pending. Some of the green highlights in the expenses are things that I just confirmed with Kim, like the co-file equipment lease. That's gonna stay the same, and the printing of the town report she's looking into with Repro to see if there's gonna be a cost change. And yeah, mostly like the VLCT, workman's comp stuff. That's just stuff they won't stay the same. They're going to be changed. Just to give you guys like highlights of things that still need to be worked on, I guess.
So I want to bring something up real quick. And it's so minor, but procedurally I need to ask. It's not numbered, but it's on the second page on the back side. So basically page 4 of the double-sided budget under the outside agencies and general support. The Vermont Association of Conservation Districts has annually been asking for $100. They increased their request this year to $200. Our policy states that if it's not a level funded request, they have to do a petition signed by 5% of our registered voters. So they'd be looking for a petition signed by 119 people for an extra $100. He did ask me for Ryan's contact information so that if he had to do a petition, he could reach out to Ryan and potentially get some help with getting signatures. But this is that agency that helps with dry hydrants across the state. And we have dry hydrants in town that have been, we've gotten grants through them to have those installed. And I think I saw Ryan there. If there were questions about how many or whatever, he may be able to answer some of that. But I guess what I'm looking for is an exception from the select board, if they're so willing to do so, to not do a petition for this $100 increase.
Yeah, that seems like an awful lot to do for $100.
And it's the type of agency that is providing like a huge service in respect to those dry hydrants for our communities.
For town. I know if he tells you to get signatures, you can give him. There we go, Kim. We're gonna have him do the signatures and Ryan's gonna give him $100.
We all chip in $10 if it's.
Yeah, but I think that, should we do a motion for that, Kim? Probably, huh?
Probably, yes.
Yeah, so just everyone in agreement for that there's no need to make them petition 120 people to request for another
Right, when
$100.
people are looking for small changes like that, they shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I move that, what is it called?
VACD, Vermont, yeah,
VACD did not need to petition the extra $100.
for the request, okay.
Thank you.
Second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, that's what it is, just so you know.
I can get a copy.
Sure. Cause we're not saying they're getting the $100, we're just saying they don't have to petition.
Correct.
That's the $100. Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Jen, do you have anything like that really jumps out at you? I mean, I know you wrote everything really wonderfully on everything, but do you have anything you'd specifically like to talk to us about? Or no?
Well, I asked Ryan to attend because I felt like there was a lot for the fire department that is huge expenses that are gonna be coming down the pipeline in the next 5 years.
Yep, it's true. We can, do you wanna come up and talk about that? You explained it to me at the committee, but these guys didn't hear your spiel. So, might be good, cause it is a lot of money. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but
What are you talking about, air pack stuff?
yes. And how your budget increased this year and why.
Oh, the major increase of our budget this year was our turnout gear. We get replaced every 10 years. And it's about $5,000 for pants and coat. We've gotten a bunch of grant, we got it on a grant last time, so it's all due in like 2 years. So I put it in my budget so I can buy like 3 sets this year. 3 sets every year to keep it spaced out, so we don't have to come in and say, we need $60,000 to buy turnout gear every 10 years. That was my goal, was to try to get it so we can replace a few every year. Get on a rotation. Then our air packs. So the air bottles for the air packs. Every 5 years, you gotta send them out to get hydro tested. Every 15 years. You have to replace them. At a cost of like, it's like $58,000 to replace all our air bottles right now. Which I don't make the rules. I feel,
Yeah.
I feel if they pass hydro, then they should keep going, you know, I mean. So then the other thing would be is. So the air packs are all at the same age in the air bottles, they're all 10 years old right now. So do you replace the pack and the bottle? But the pack's like 10 grand, so you're talking like $200,000 to replace the air pack and all bottles that we got. Or do you buy air bottles? And in another few years, start replacing them, I don't, you know, it's just a.
Yeah.
I mean, we can try for grants in a few years, but
Exactly.
Okay, this is something we can maybe put on the radar for.
It already is. Yeah, it already is. Yeah.
I just bring it up
We have it in
because,
the budget though, I mean, we obviously have, it's up against us, and obviously there's OSHA rules that are changing with the fire departments that we're seeing, so.
yeah, they haven't officially changed yet, I don't think, but yes, no, so I just wanna have this discussion because I don't wanna come in 5 years and be like, oh, by the way, I need $200,000 because the air packs are outdated and they don't work no more. So I wanted to have this discussion to
Start a reserve.
start something,
Yeah.
either start putting money into a reserve or do something.
Could you start, because sometimes we get to the end of the year and there's some money left over. Could you start doing a couple of packs a year? I mean, it's sort of as part of thinking about that, not getting the bill all at once. Because if they're, again, it's depending on when they age out.
They all age out at the same time because we bought them all with a grant.
Right.
So
but
right
if-
now,
but if we-
they're,
Right, but if we start now doing a couple of years.
I think
then
that's what he's
then-
asking for now.
no,
Oh.
no, I'm just saying in 5 years, we
no,
need to start
right.
replacing all this stuff, so.
Right,
I mean,
so if we started
can we
now.
start putting money in a reserve and then in 5 years?
Be able to replace everything.
Or
I mean,
do
I know
you
you're
start
gonna
some
replace
early
everything.
replacement
Yes.
now and do a bit at a time? I mean, you sort of,
We could start those in a rotation too, maybe.
Right.
As well as the turnout gear.
right, if you did that, then if you get everything on a rotation, you can, ultimately, your goal is to have $150,000 a year is going towards equipment for the fire department.
I just make sure I hear this right, I don't wanna turn something out that's not outdated yet, I think I'm all on board on putting a reserve fund in.
That's
But
what, that's
yeah,
what,
we're
yeah,
not
right, well,
turning
yeah.
something out before it's done.
no,
Right,
Yeah, okay.
well, except for turnout gear.
So the turnout gear is what cause it's due at 10 years, so what I'm gonna do is some of it's gonna be replaced a couple of years early. Not, not too terribly. And then some will be on time and some are gonna be
Late.
young. But
Just
the
to
ones that
get-
are gonna be beyond are the guys that just drive truck. Or pump, you know, not
Okay.
just drive truck, but
Yeah,
you know,
right,
that don't go
right, right, yeah,
inside.
go inside.
Right, they're,
Basically, it keeps them warm.
Yeah.
in the winter, You know,
right,
and the guys that go inside and do interior stuff, theirs is gonna get replaced early,
sooner,
Right.
yeah,
sooner, you
Right.
know.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not talking like five, I was probably. Like 2 years, maybe a
I
year,
think that's what you said
Yeah.
when you were looking at
right,
the rollout plan.
yeah.
So maybe somebody already said this and I missed it because I'm reading Ryan's notes or Jen and Ryan's notes. So like Matt said, getting an article set up for specific, the Hyde Park fire equipment. And at the end of the year, at the end of the fiscal year, if the fire department has any funds, any unspent funds, couldn't the select board vote to, put those funds into
Jen and I have
that?
talked about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, starting a reserve of unspent funds. So that-
But then making sure that any unspent funds get moved into that the Hyde Park fire equipment fund so that it's not lost.
Yes,
Identical to the paving reserve. at the
yeah,
end.
exactly. When you get to the end of the year, here are several funds, because you'll have, there are all kinds of needs, so if you've got.
And I think that reserve fund is good, I just think that we need to have two. One for us, one for Northern Park.
yes,
Yeah,
Because the problem is like, I got this issue, or not an issue, but I got this thing where I wanna save up for air packs. So I keep putting money in there, then North Park comes in and says, oh, I need this, and then they take
And we
money
give
out,
them
and then
money.
that screws the whole. You know what I mean, it screws the whole plan up.
I
that
do.
I,
yeah, it should be two different.
yeah,
I feel that there should be two different, and I know Jen was working on that.
yeah,
Cause she thought the same thing,
It needs to be.
I think she brought it to our attention.
yeah. Well, her and I had talked about it
Oh,
before.
okay.
It's inside your packet.
Mhm.
There's a split out of who's used what since it was established 7 years ago.
That's not perfect.
Yeah.
It's pretty close
I was
to
gonna say,
them
it's-
spending the
Yeah,
same,
it's not as.
same
strict.
amount,
Yeah.
but
Would have been if they didn't get a grant for air packs.
right.
If
That's right,
they didn't get that grant, then they would have been a lot higher.
yeah,
They would have nearly depleted the reserve had they not gotten the air packs covered.
yeah.
I mean, grants are great, but you just run into this kind of issue
Yeah.
if you can't get another grant to replace it, you know what I
And
mean?
we may be able to, but
And
it's
we
good
may be
to,
able to,
yeah,
but-
I'd rather plan than have you
Right.
not.
Right, so in a couple of years, we can start applying. Maybe.
Yes.
To see if we can get something.
Right.
It never hurts to have money in the bank. Get grants, terrific. I bet there's something else you can spend. on it.
Yeah. I think that was the biggest thing, that was the biggest thing on my budget was
Yeah.
trying to turn out good. I mean, a little bit here, a little bit there, but.
Then. Yeah. The truck is all set, right?
Set to be delivered in March.
As of now, yeah,
You don't look
Right.
right. Well,
because I've been given 2 dates already that we haven't done.
ah, got it, okay.
Oh, no, one day, it's supposed to have been delivered in November, and they haven't started working on it until January, so.
Any more questions for Ryan?
So how much are the air bottles and air packs each?
Oh, they're on this.
I didn't get that.
I think the pack was like 90,000 and the bottles were $1,200 or something. Or more. I want to say it's like 12 grand or something for air pack and bottle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
And that's another rule that they have, you have to have an air pack for every riding position you have of every truck. If 3 people can ride in the truck, you have 3 air packs,
Oh, really?
yeah,
It's $1,500.
for the bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the pack was like 9.
94.
94.
You see that she proposed a raise for us?
Yeah, I did.
It's that hard.
Makes a
I
difference.
was gonna make us stay on.
Yeah, right. Oh, sorry. Maybe 15 cents. Nothing.
15 cents an hour.
And then the listers, they, they've proposed.
I find it very common.
I'm.
Don't get him going.
Oh.
Nicole.
It's going.
Don't get fired up.
I think we're right.
I know, you don't have,
Right.
like I say, you can
Yeah,
hang
you
out
can
with
skip-
us. if
Yeah,
you
we're
want.
happy to have you, but you can escape if you want.
Yeah.
They just gotta wait a little while to go out and start. So what are the roads gonna do tonight?
They're gonna be
Give
crap.
me snow cover.
No,
I don't want
them to be. You don't think we're gonna get sleep? No, okay.
It's all right.
Some difference.
One's rain and one's a little sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep's
we
like
look
half
towards
the
the
snow.
back. Right,
Well,
freezing rain just goes, there you go.
Sleep.
It's like just assumed they were kind of the same thing.
It's
Yeah.
weather. It's from
If it's snowing before the rain.
Take your word
Okay,
for it.
all right.
Thank you,
All
Ryan.
right, we'll hold you to that,
Yeah.
Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. You guys are just taking it online.
I need to buy.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I wonder.
So Jen, currently, as is, what would be the increase in the tax rate?
That's an unfair question to ask me. This is the first time I've ever done this. I feel like I'm kind of flying solo. Kim has said that she's gonna look this over.
Oh, so that's just a first, don't worry about it, just, what's your first guesstimate?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, I like that answer. Way to be honest.
Yeah.
So, just so that you know, and this is assuming, and I'm not saying Jen's incorrect or wrong,
Yep.
but assuming the data entry is good, if you look at the bottom of like the revenue page, it says a percentage of change minus I can't read it, 86%. And then if you go to the bottom of page 2 and page 3, I mean, there's some percentages per page, how that averages out. I'm quickly trying to flip to the very back page to see. And I can't quite tell because the spreadsheet that Ron created, oh, well, it says total municipal expenses.
Yeah.
And then it says a change 7.06 or 08%.
Yeah.
So, and again, and this, like I said, this is all new for Jen. So if, everything's data inputted correctly, that's kind of where we're at. And obviously she's got a lot of highlighted things for questioning, but
Last year, didn't we vote to spend a certain amount of our reserve to keep it down? We gonna do the same thing?
No,
I don't think that's safe for us to do without the audits being completed.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
With FY 22, we didn't even have, well, we were just around that. So
Yep.
I totally agree with Jen on that.
Yeah, I do too.
That's fine, it was just brought up last year, so it just,
you'll end up,
you're going the wrong way.
Correct.
well, yeah, you're artificially lowering something that is, which is what the legislature did last
Oh,
year, and it's gonna get
that
us
was
this
my
year.
concern last year with Ron, that was one of my concerns, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah,
So if it's at 7, then we all get to, so do we want to? Want to see if we can, if it's possible to get to 5?
I think that's a good goal.
I was gonna say, that just, they don't have to get there, but it's just sort of a goal.
And again, this is her first.
Yeah,
pass, so
right,
this
I mean,
is
well,
good,
right.
yeah. 7's better than 15, I mean, pretty good, we're starting at that.
Question about, just to throw something out there, the fire department and the water bill,
Yes,
how is that budgeted for? Like, what direction? Just to pay the annual bill or trying to invest in drilling a well?
still paying the bill. It went down. Quite a bit.
If you build the well, then that would erase, not erase, but basically eliminate that line item for the year after, right?
None of you have any questions?
Well, it's just. Jen, what do you see as the big drivers of the increases?
Benefits and salaries.
yeah,
Oh,
and then just rising costs of services.
Health and training, private road, 4%. Prosecution just gave us the public service board.
24%.
Yearly, like.
That's ridiculous.
This is following
Yeah, this is all just,
22% increase.
Yep, our healthcare system is so whacked.
And that's on top of the deductible.
Did you guys see Jen's notes in regards to the proposal to change the overtime budget, like the maximum number of hours or the budgeted number of hours from 275 hours down to 250? I think it's on page 3. And she's talked about how that proposal would save in payroll taxes and pension and a few others. And then
really test your eyes.
proposing to move those savings to other places within the highway budget that, may need to be increased for one reason or another. And she did research to show or to see, how much of overtime has been used, and I'm sure she's got all those numbers, but she's really dove pretty deep into the highway budget, into some of these things, looking for potential savings that we can use for some of those rising costs that we're talking about.
Okay.
You know, and Mark's is big, but Mark goes as the one who goes out all night long figuring out whether you need to call people. And do.
Right.
So he's.
This is always gonna be-
Right. I'm not,
I mean,
Boy,
but this really isn't. We haven't hit, this doesn't show like a winter yet. It'd be nice if we saw what last winter was.
Pull it up, right here, page before.
yeah,
Oh, it's.
yeah, I was gonna say,
It is.
yeah.
I'm looking at Vermont.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the one for Vermont this year. Okay, here.
and I think,
I think that's a really good idea.
well, it's one of the things you do, and if there's more overtime, you just, you know,
Then
you
we'll
gotta
have
move
to
the money in
revisit,
and have to do
right.
it, but. But it's kind of like, again, and I think Mark is very conscious of and tries to work, you know, manage the overtime.
Very
But
much.
it's kind of like with the, you know, with the salt for a while, is we could say, well, let's just take a little bit out of his budget, so we squeezed it a number of years and he's met those targets. So if we do a, you know, a reduction in the number, in theory, there's the target and see what happens. Because there's no way knowing what's gonna happen, you know, it's completely impossible.
Jen, would it be a huge pain to figure out like a 3-year average of overtime or no? Is that like, I don't wanna make you do a silly project that'll take you hours.
Well, there's, it said, well, no, that's just an average of that.
Yeah.
Well, the or the part that you see in her report, she does say that she has actual cost. Oh, that's cost for the part-time person.
Right,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I missed that.
I can if you want me to.
well, no, is it a huge job? I was thinking, could you just pull a report? It's not that easy, is it?
It's not because we've changed payroll
Oh,
companies.
that's right, that's right.
Yeah, right.
I started tracking it for him last year because there wasn't really a good overtime report.
Yeah.
So I started making, like doing that spreadsheet and giving it to him monthly.
Oh,
And
nice.
so I just continued it. But if you want me to go back to FY 20,
Yeah,
No.
that's okay.
No, that's fine, done, thank you. Well, and honestly, if they end up having a bunch of overtime in the summer, it's gonna be because of of an event that we'd probably get paid.
Get
for.
reimbursed for. Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
not that I wanna like predict a bad event, but in the summer, that's why they would have overtime, you know?
Yeah.
In the winter, it's if we get a bunch of snow, which hasn't happened, I feel like in 4 or 5 years. But it's a good analysis.
That about it. People work for free and save a lot of money.
No.
The town listers,
Yes, they want a big change, not big
Well-
changes, but want changes.
the increase of $100, that's on top of what they got last year? Okay.
Yeah.
correct?
And mileage. Yeah. Which. Makes sense,
But I guess I'm confused because it talks about they'll pick up more additional hours assisting other towns. Those other towns are paying for that or we're paying for that?
They're gonna pick up more hours because Justin is going to be assisting other towns as the shared.
Oh, they're
That's-
going to be picking up more hours because, okay, sorry. I thought it read,
Yeah.
they were going to
Right.
assist other towns and I was like. we're paying for
Sorry.
that? Seems silly. Okay, got it.
If I may reword that just a little bit, instead of myself taking on more hours, the listers would be taking on more hours.
That's how I understand, yeah.
Correct.
Thank you.
So much you can.
Yeah.
Oh.
Take a look, everything looks pretty reasonable.
It really
Yeah,
does. It really, no, it does. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, yeah, the biggest, I think the biggest thing is in benefits, and there's not a whole lot you can do. about
No,
that.
exactly. You can't. That's
And the reserves, but that's good for the town.
right. Yeah, you don't wanna start taking from that, but you know,
You don't need anything.
but yeah.
Jen, you put a question in here about the kennels and what would be the appropriate amount that we should budget for, because we don't have a. But it's likely to go down. Is it silly to budget for the 25,000? In case it doesn't, and then if it does go down, we are in the ahead?
So for us, it would be the 5,000 if it's
Yeah.
stayed at 30. And that's if we had the other the other 4 towns. We only have 3 so far. So I guess I'm just curious if that's still a good number. Not knowing if we're gonna have the full participation from other towns to help offset the cost.
Theoretically, it should only be if, you know, the way we hope it to be and the way we're designing it to be, it should only be $5,000 for the town of Hyde Park.
Perfect, love it.
And I'm not sure, like, for the $25 a day fees, does that come out of like Ally's allocation, or is that, we should probably budget some of that in. You know, if the dog stays there, we have to pay the kennel the $25 a day. There'll be some that we probably won't recover.
We might wanna put something there.
I would like to think that we wouldn't put too much there because honestly, the owners are supposed to be paying for those fees when they pick up the dog.
Right, but if you have a lost dog, about 10 days,
Right.
are recovered. We're stuck with that bill ultimately, unless they gets adopted out or something,
Yeah.
some magic happens.
Yeah, basically, yeah, the abandoned dogs are maybe drained.
How many abandoned dog we have had. Even if you put $500 in that, that's 2 abandoned dogs that 500 is not a big line item. 2 dogs at 10 days.
Yeah, there was just, I just picked up 2. I'm not sure the disposition, they're gone now, so I'm not sure the disposition of, a ticket or anything.
How come?
So there is 5,500 in purchase services for the kennels. And that does include like vet fees. That $500 is, you know,
Okay.
so
Perfect.
I don't know if you'd want to increase that by another 500
So,
No.
Jen,
or
under the Lanphier library, this is the only thing that I see that's like, this is weird. Health benefit dental opt-out, it went from 22.4 down to 76, is that right?
it is actually. So Amy has decided to opt out of the healthcare coverage. So she only gets the 50% and she's no longer taking the dental.
Well,
vision's covered by her, but
Library decreased numbers.
yes, it's a nice one, huh?
Yeah, I was thinking,
Yeah.
is that an oversight? or-
No, no,
Wow, okay.
You never
there's some
see-
cost savings there. There's
I was like, whoa, that's a big one, that was a big
a
one.
health benefit.
Okay, all right. There's something else.
Jen,
Yes,
that $7,600, that is the cost of the health opt out.
yes.
Okay,
Which is, I just was like, whoa, that went down a lot, which.
yeah.
is normal, which is not the trend of the other health insurance benefits that we've seen.
Yeah,
So,
yes.
When thinking about 7%, is that taking into consideration any of the interest that you've been earning from the investments?
Yeah, that's in the revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know if we're going to be investing any more in FY26 if we don't have the ARPA money to do that with.
Exactly.
so I don't know. We should look into this outside agency thing, because the Loyal Housing Partnership has technically dissolved. It's now merged with Down Street. And I don't know how that's working. I mean, they still have their properties here in town, but I don't know. That's a weird one.
So because I'm the one working on the appropriations, you said Lamoille Housing.
Loyal Housing Partnership, so,
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they
I guess
merged, so they're still
there's-
doing affordable housing.
they are still doing affordable housing, but, yeah, and I guess they're still keeping the name, so yeah, that would stay,
Yeah.
probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything yet from them.
Yes, we can try to- I was looking at the wrong one the whole time. It's. No. I know. No, you need to read.
Don't need that.
I know the dog fines didn't go up. Haven't the clerk's office been collecting more in fines? In the revenue section?
And fines?
Yeah. No, from the tickets and stuff?
I don't know. I don't think so.
In the dog licenses, have they, licenses, but in the tickets and fines, in the revenue, has that gone up at all? I see a change of 0.
I don't think it has, because didn't Ally just get the ability to write tickets?
I feel like early this spring,
Yeah.
almost been a year.
Oh, has it been? Okay.
Mhm.
I remember a meeting where she brought in $150 in tickets of some type.
Yeah, I bet you could increase that.
They can also ticket for farm animals now. So I could ask her if what she thought for
Why don't we give her a
more
target?
revenue.
Yeah, let's give her a target. I
Okay.
mean, you know, she wanted the ability to write tickets, and there are all these people that are in violation. So the purpose of giving her the ability is to write the tickets to get people to not be in violation. So if it was 200 before, let's do 400. I mean, not be crazy, but just, you know. Again, if she came in with one meeting and there was 150.
I can follow up with her on that.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that they had requested to have their stipends doubled,
Right,
900 to 1,800 apiece?
yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
I'm just really confused
You go
as
do
to
it.
why she's
Well.
responding to so many. I just don't understand why she's responding to so many calls that aren't Hyde Park calls.
That was, it's been addressed.
Okay, you know, like,
Yeah, well, the part of the problem is the way Brent had set everything up. He's made it almost like a humane society, so everybody was just calling Ally. And so, yeah, we ended up with Franklin County people.
but I mean, like, driving to Cambridge to bring a dog to the ACO, pick up a dog and bring it to the ACO's house, like,
Yeah, but that was when.
That was the
before the
police.
time.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
June
right.
to November, he's saying that that's.
yeah, so I'm
now.
just saying, like, you know, if it's,
I think,
you know.
like, I think they do. I don't wanna be on call 24/7 for dogs,
Right.
so. But I think if we talk about an increase, like, more tickets should be written, if you know, like, if you go to somebody's house, I mean, that's a hard job, they've talked about that, and. You don't bang on somebody's door and just give them a ticket because they don't have a dog registered, but. Why would you ever register your dog if
There's no.
there's no consequence, like,
Yeah,
that's always a pet peeve of me.
me too, me
I,
too.
And I think when she writes the tickets, I think she probably has a handful of tickets where they haven't paid. And I don't know, because we've never done it, I don't know the process for turning those unpaid tickets over to the Judicial Bureau to have them go after the fees and get the fees collected. So hypothetically, she writes a ticket and the ticket's $50, give them 15 days or 30 days, or if there's a statute for it, whatever the statutory number of days is, that they could come to the office, and if they pay it in the office, then it's reduced by 50%. So they only pay 25. But if they don't pay it within the statutory number of days, that ticket gets turned over to the Judicial Bureau, and they're going to be up for 100% of that. And I don't know how all of that works, but I think she's got tickets that have been unpaid.
That's a good idea, cause yeah, you're right, I think you can send them to the
Well, I
Judicial
just-
Bureau.
I'm always late getting my dog registered, and it's like dog 180, and I'm like, there's no way there's 180 dogs in this town, there's.
So my question
Crazy,
is,
there's-
if she hears of, like, if she goes to somebody's house and it's for a dog complaint and she finds out the dog isn't registered, do we expect her to have a conversation with them and say that you need to go, or does she instantly write them a ticket?
Yeah,
Or do they get
if
like,
we
go
could
register, and then if she
stop
goes back
calling,
out or
so-
checks in with Kim and they.
Oh,
have to-
true,
I wanna say something, but I don't want to.
yeah, some of that might be.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what is,
Another
do we
executive
want,
We
session.
will,
do you know what I mean? Like.
yeah, we do,
Okay.
and we need to talk about it in an executive session.
Yeah,
Follow up, quick one up, completely different question.
yeah,
From dogs to,
The fire department, so when they get their new truck. Are they selling an old truck, or is that a trade-in? Is there any income we can expect from that?
that's included in the. Right, we talked about that when he came to, where's the bond information?
Actually, don't think I included that. That is.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, 'cause we talked about
Yes.
it though, right? I remember talking about it.
I don't remember what was said,
See,
and he left.
couldn't ask that when Ryan was here, Justin. 'Cause,
I
yeah,
can email him and update.
we don't know what, because, oh, I know,
They're
it's
always
because the
issuing
truck
tickets.
can't even be inspected. The one that we're getting rid of, right? It's like, right, it's like beyond, so I don't. If anything, it's not gonna be much, right?
right,
I'm pretty sure, don't put that in writing, cause I don't know for sure. But I'm. Pretty sure that was the reason.
yes, I think.
We can follow up, I don't know that though. How did you guys think, ladies, think that having the committee worked? Do you think that caused more work for you, Jen, or do you think it was good?
I liked it. It was nice to hear from everybody firsthand. And it definitely helped in the input process.
Yeah.
Was it helpful to you guys?
I mean, I was part of it and I thought it was a great idea. I guess, I don't know, how do you guys feel? Would you have rather been involved with everybody doing their budget presentations one-on-one? Or are you happy that Jen, the committee, Stephen, Jen, Kim and I and.
And you did a great job.
I don't,
I mean-
I don't know,
You're okay looking at the final report, you thought that worked good?
but I trust Jen and you to
Well, yeah, and the
Yeah, I
committee
think-
was good. I mean,
half of this stuff, it's like. Still learning it, you know?
Ryan said the plan is to try to sell a truck.
oh, okay.
That's.
We'll
Yeah,
see
that-
what we got for it.
Right. He'll go to his
Put it
reserve.
in, yeah, I was gonna say, put it.
He'll put it in his equipment reserve.
Exactly.
Oh, it's your reserve fund.
Another
One
question.
of the other questions, so when we put in the sidewalk project three, the Fund 21, the sidewalk reserve.
Mhm.
We contributing that every year, so.
I'm pretty sure.
So, yeah.
10 grand or something, right?
Yeah.
That-
Yeah, sidewalk reserve. We're putting 25 in. This year. We've been doing 10, we're putting 25 in, for the village project. Right, Jen, am I saying that right?
Yes,
Yeah,
Woo!
two, you got the
See?
rail trail and.
Starting to,
And,
there's quite a few grants being
Right.
operated out of that.
long meeting. Highway,
What's the contracted services that went from 0 to 20,000?
I guess it's probably wrong, right?
yeah,
Yes,
Wrong.
we're on,
What was his last year budgeted for? Where was that been accounted?
I don't
there
think,
was,
yeah, we didn't budget for it, because we didn't know we were gonna need it.
Okay.
We had a contract with him, but it was like as needed.
Yeah, put in zero.
So,
I mean, I don't know a lot about this, but I'm not really saying. Hold on.
is it overwhelming to you being your first time, or is it?
I mean, no, I, this.
The layout is really good,
This is,
so,
this is good.
yeah,
I'm just,
taking it all in.
when you look at the numbers and you look at stuff, it's. Nothing seems unreasonable compared
Yeah.
to
I know,
last year, do you know what I mean?
right,
Like,
absolutely, yeah. I think everybody was really fair when they came. And presented their budgets, you know, everybody did what they could to. And then the poor highway, that's where we'll. Put the.
Is there a decrease? I see purchase service gravel crushing 0 to 42,000.
That's a question in the highway, because it hasn't been finalized.
Well, those are the two things we switch back and forth.
Right,
Right,
we put them back, yeah,
Right.
So that-
every other year.
yeah, and I think I mistakenly put crushed for this current, or I'm sorry, culverts for the 25-26, but it's actually going back to crush
Crushing,
Okay.
the 25-26.
And that's not enough,
what do we pay this year?
60,000.
Well, it's definitely not gonna go down.
What?
That's this part he specializes in.
Then you should give us a deal.
I do.
Give us another one.
I didn't live in this town, $100 more. I can tell you right now, I'm crushing in Barrett for $9, I know it was 5 cents a yard,
Okay,
crushing this town for $5.75.
Oh,
But they did 110,000 yards, so like,
yeah, you need to make it worthwhile, for sure.
A lot of surplus in there.
the other option to do with something like that. Rather than raise the budget on like the gravel crushing, some of the towns are giving us. You tell me how many yards you can do for our budget,
Oh,
so,
play that game.
yeah. We have a budget, not to go over, not to exceed,
Yeah.
so here's our contract. We'll give the yardage to us, you know, and that way the town rep won't hold up the budgets.
So maybe we could have a conversation with Mark, you know, and you and Steven and say, okay, it's the lowest we can crush and what's the best price we can do?
That's a hell of a pile up there.
It is.
And I just wonder, I mean, how many, that seems like a multi-year supply to me.
Yeah, see, I don't have any
But
idea.
that's what he's doing now.
But if they only crush once every 3 years, it would need to be a multi-year supply.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
But we're getting ready to crush again and we still have a pile.
Multi-cycle, I should say. Yeah, because I mean, it looks.
It depends on what different projects do throughout the year.
Right.
And I know, I have not been experienced a lot of the road construction.
Right.
I don't know, but it seemed like a lot
Yeah,
of,
right.
a lot of
Mhm.
crushed stone.
One other thing,
Yeah, but when you're going 3 years out, that's what's hard, you don't know.
Yeah.
the E911 size.
Yep.
Signs, $2,000,
Mhm.
is that not ARPA funds? Good.
That's in addition. We already used, we need both.
He knows that. He likes being involved.
Cause we need to keep for like new stuff and. Well, no, new houses are gonna have to do their own, right?
Okay.
E911 sign.
And
Those
if
are
they've
good.
already been through, they don't have to have those green signs. The standard is it has to be 4-inch numbers on a reflective background.
Gotcha.
So that's actually a bonus for everybody, but they can just go to Auto Showers or Ace and get the stick on ones and just put them, you know, where the ambulance can see them.
Got it.
For the fire.
Need.
Not much.
So all that's less than 9,000 left in ARPA funds that needs to be obligated or something.
Yep.
Other than that, it's on taxpayer or whatever.
Meetings at 7 and that's right.
Yes. We probably shouldn't walk in at 7.
Probably not. I mean, if we have to start getting nitty gritty, the one thing that stands out to me, and maybe this just me speaking out loud, it's the additional reserves. We start getting greedy there. We've raised it by 35,000. That was something. Well, you know. In my mind, if we gotta start getting nitty gritty, you have operating costs and then you have. Those types of costs and.
I'm scared to not do that.
I'm just, yeah, but it's just a good, I'm just saying, it comes down for me, you're.
We have
asking to
so
kind of
much.
your pocket, you know, versus maybe that becomes more.
Well-
Nitty gritty, down and dirty grant work, or you know, or something like that.
It's too late. We're
I know-
already
I know it
committed.
is. I know it is, just. Again, I don't understand it all the time, I'm just saying, I'm looking at the cost, like.
Correct,
you're not-
Jen?
You're not gonna go to your fire department and cut that budget, you're not gonna go
I
to that,
know.
in one county sheriff's department.
Yeah, and if you, the problem, you know, with the reserves, if we don't keep putting the money in, then there come big expenses.
So I agree.
Yeah, and you're a bigger bond and it costs more money.
And Jen, the reason we had to. That meeting that I was on. With, for all the MERP stuff, but no.
Yeah,
one that was
the
2 hours
project
long.
planning.
The one that
The
was-
project planning for the town.
Yeah, I mean,
There's one project in the village of Hyde Park that's gonna cost us $3 million and it's been on hold for 15 years. And that's part of the sidewalk.
That's the storm.
Could be. And that could be, you know, funded with highway road construction, which you guys just dipped into for paving. So.
Is that the stormwater project here? The Johnson extension and all that stuff all the way down?
No, yes, some,
yeah,
Yes,
Cause that includes all the sidewalks.
yes.
Yeah.
And there's properties that we have to go into.
Well, and there was other
Yes,
projects,
there's easements.
Sorry.
Yeah.
and there's other projects in there that we need to plan for also, that we're already,
Say that.
so I'll tell you. Could be why he wants to have a meeting.
I think one of the things he wants to bring up is some sidewalk work
I
right
do
now
too.
at the intersections, you know, so.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I'll let you know. It's next Thursday. Um. Yeah. It'll be good homework. Everybody can dream about this tonight.
That's right.
Jen and Kim, thank you so much for all the work on
That's
this.
in the first person.
Well, Jen did most of it.
So-
Well, you were in the committee too, so,
That's great.
but we really appreciate it. And
Well, if you guys have questions when you're looking through it later that are in addition that we didn't go over, feel free to reach out to me.
Okay.
I'll see you guys at 7.
See you in a bit. Okay, so motion to adjourn.
I make the motion.
I'll second that.
Good.